So yesterday, I decided against making a video. I decided I wasn't comfortable with it. I wasn't comfortable making a video about hockey and promoting the sport of hockey. And more importantly, I wasn't comfortable making a video as though nothing was going on. I felt like that was very hypocritical of me to do if I did that. So that's why you didn't see a video yesterday. And I'm going to explain right now what I mean. And hopefully you guys can understand. I'm going to go over what happened. A black man was accused of committing a crime. And the officer in charge of arresting him decided by himself, on his own account, that he was going to end that man's life that day. Shot him 7 times in the back in an attempt to end his life. Whether that man was guilty or not of what he was accused of doing is completely irrelevant. You know why? I've seen a lot of people go, oh, well, he's a criminal, so he deserves it. No. That's not how it's supposed to happen. That is not how you're supposed to do things. First of all, the officer's job is to arrest the suspect, not kill him. And second of all, the justice system is supposed to be guilty until proven innocent. So clearly, this was me misspeaking. It is innocent until proven guilty. But what I meant to say is the officer saw it as guilty until proven innocent. So I apologize for misspeaking on that one. But you understand. Hopefully, this is an issue that is near and dear to my heart. So thank you to the person that reached out to me that said I misspoke on that one. This is the reason for the re-upload. Thank you. You are supposed to be guaranteed a fair trial, no matter what you're accused of. But that officer decided, when he saw that this was a black suspect, he said, you know what? Fuck all that. Fuck all that. Fuck everything that I stand for. I am going to murder this man right now. And make no mistake about it, this happens more often than you see it on camera. A lot of videos go viral of it now because cameras are more accessible, but I promise you a lot of it is done in the dark where you can't see it, where nobody's filming it. Okay, and statistics prove and studies show that police act differently based on a suspect's skin color. So for anyone saying that racism doesn't exist and it's just how police act with everybody, educate yourself. You need to figure it out. Okay, I'm glad that you've been coddled in your life so much to the point where you think everything is fine and everybody is equal. But it's time for you to wake up, step up, educate yourself. Information is so readily available these days. Go on to Google and do some research. Racism is 100,000% real. I've seen it. Some of my closest friends have been victims of it. And by some of my closest friends, I don't mean it in a some of my friends are black way, all right? Some people just say that and they think that it gets them off the hook. No. My dude, when I was a kid, all right, my number one best friend for a whole decade was a black guy, was a black kid. And he is the one who introduced me to hockey. He is the one, believe it or not, who said, check out this sport. Check out this fun sport that I play, because he played hockey. And that's when I got hooked into the sport. And it makes me sick to my stomach that today, because of that black kid who was my best friend for a decade, I am here. I am a fan of this sport. And as a white Canadian, I am expected to be in these communities. And as a black kid who is just as Canadian as me, he's not expected to be here. And borderline part of this sport doesn't even want him here. That makes me sick to my stomach. Because as a kid, I was more focused on kicking and shooting a ball than I was about hockey until he came along. So if you're wondering why I get a little pissed off when this type of thing happens, it's because of that. Now, I've seen a lot of people say, oh, well, it's not the NHL's job to do it. It's not the NBA's job to do it. They are sports. They are distractions. And they need to be here for my entertainment only. and they need to be here for my distractions so I don't have to worry about the world. This is exactly why we wanted both sports to boycott their games. That is exactly why. Because let me tell you something. I made that post, and I said I'm not going to make a video today. I don't feel comfortable doing it. The NHL is disgusting me right now. I made that post, and within minutes, I had 4 to 5 people ask me what happened. Think about that. A channel that is 5,000 subscribers. 5,300 if you want to be more exact. A channel as small as mine could get 4 to 5 people instantly ask what happened. And I'm not even the sport. I'm not even the sports channel. I make videos on the video game about the sports. So imagine how many more people it's going to reach when the entire league of the sport shut down. Imagine how many people are going to ask what happened, how many people are going to look it up, and how many people are going to educate themselves based on that. That is why we wanted the boycott. It's to not be the distraction anymore, because they've tried going on with their lives and wearing the shirts and taking a knee and raising their fist and making statements before the game, and clearly that didn't work. So the NBA players said, you know what? Fuck it. We're not going to be that distraction anymore, and the headlines are not going to be Luka Doncic dropped 43 points in a triple-double. That's not going to be the headline anymore. The headline is going to be what happened in real life. Because believe it or not, sports doesn't actually matter. So to everyone saying stick to sports, to everyone saying sports is supposed to be a distraction, keep me distracted, that is exactly why we wanted the boycott to happen. It's so that you don't have the distraction, and it's so that you have to think about this type of thing, and it's so that you have to read about it and see what's going on. Because a lot of people will use sports or whatever other distraction that they have on purpose to avoid what's really going on in the world. And as of yesterday when I made the post, all NHL games were scheduled to go on as planned. And that's why I was disgusted. That is why I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand that hockey would do this. I was like, again, we have to do this again. Hockey has always been the last sport to step up for social issues. It's always been like that. And I was starting to think, and this was a thought that I didn't want to think to myself, but I had to admit that it was in my head. I was starting to think, man, the NHL is seeing a lot of sports shut down, and the league is thinking this is our opportunity to be the only thing on TV. I didn't want to think about it, but that's what came to mind, and I was like, man, that sucks. That really sucks. And that's why I was disgusted that the NHL refused to do that. But I'm glad I waited to make the video, though. I am glad because the NHL players decided to step up, and they decided to do the right thing to draw attention to what was going on. So the league can promptly go fuck itself with that little moment of reflection bullshit that they had before the game. Okay, that moment of reflection nonsense, no. No, stop. Stop being so out of touch. And let me be very, very clear, because I've seen it online. This whole, oh, they boycotted the game, so that's it, we've solved racism. No, you don't get it. That's not the point. And as someone who loves using sarcasm, don't be a sarcastic asshole in this situation. This is not the time for it. Because guess what? There's not going to be one single act. There isn't going to be. Stop waiting for one person to find the one thing that is going to solve racism. That's not going to happen. Nobody is expecting to take one action and solve racism. That's not what this aimed to do. That's not what it does. And not a single person is delusional enough to think that that boycott is going to solve racism by itself. The way you solve this type of thing is by everybody pulling a little bit and everybody doing what they can to solve it. And once enough people give enough of a damn to do their part, that's when we're going to see change. So quit it with the, oh, that's it, we solved racism comment. You're not accomplishing anything. And so all I'm asking is not much. All I'm asking is to take a second and listen. All I'm asking is for you to take a second and realize that this is not a political thing. This is not about politics. This is not about who you're voting for. This is about human decency. This is about equality. It's about doing the right thing, and it's about being ethical. It's not about politics. It's just being a decent human being. So, again, all I'm asking is that you listen, you take the time to educate yourself, and you just be a good human. Be a good human. Stop hating each other. Stop hating people because they don't look like you. Stop hating people because of things that are out of their control. And stop assuming that everybody that is different, that looks different, that talks different, that has a different background than you, is lesser of a human being than you are. Because from their perspective, newsflash, you're just as different to them as they are to you. So give people a fair chance. That's all. That's literally all that we want.